So, all right, guys, be sure to like the video. It helps us out in the algorithm. I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, man, like that last segment really drove me crazy because selective outrage. Like he know that police brutality is bad, which that was what was occurring the last. Um, yeah. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. Just man. So the messages leak. Super chat. Shout out to Al Jazeera. Basically, um, the people from the intelligence agency, Goldberg, Tosi, a few other people. Yeah, it was. They're saying, yeah, we're gonna attack Yemen. I mean, somebody leaked it out. They haven't now today, as a recording of the live stream, they had emergency hearings and all that stuff. But I'm finna read to you an article, then I'm sure the text messages. Um, Here we go.
The U.S. returned to its bombing of Yemen on Saturday, March the 15th. The White House said that the goal was to free up maritime shipping from attacks by the Houthis. But the resumption of bombing came as no surprise to the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic magazine in the U.S. He says he'd been briefed 2 hours before the attacks began with precise information about the weapons to be used, the intended targets, and the timing. Jeffrey Goldberg had seemingly inadvertently been included 5 days before the airstrikes began in a chat group on the messaging app Signal. He'd been invited by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Other members of the group included the so-called principals, Donald Trump's most senior national security, cabinet, and White House officials, 18 people in all, including the vice president, defense secretary, CIA chief, and officials from the National Security Council and White House. Goldberg released portions of the chats among those principles that led up to the U.S. military action. And they show Vice President Vance was against the strikes. 3% of U.S. trade runs through the Suez, the Vice President writes. 40% of European trade does. There's a real risk that the public doesn't understand this or why it's necessary. A conversation among the principals ensues on the rationale for the bombing. It culminates in this. J.D. Vance addresses Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. If you think we should do it, let's go. I just hate bailing Europe out again. The response from Pete Hegseth, VP, I fully share your loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic, but we're the only ones on the planet on our side of the ledger who can do this. And then once the
Also, I guess J.D. Vance having the anti-war characteristics. Oh, Pete Hegseth said, "Fuck that. Let's drop some bombs on people's heads."
strikes were complete, the National Security Advisor texted a succession of congratulatory emojis. Since Goldberg's publication, shock has been expressed across official Washington.
To share classified information intentionally is illegal, absolutely. To share it inadvertently, I think technically is also illegal. Ignorance is no defense before the law.
Asked on Monday afternoon, Donald Trump said he was unaware of the incident.
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it.
The defense secretary has denied that operational plans.
I don't know anything about it. The Atlantic is a sham of a magazine. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, typical Trump for you. Of course, Trump ain't gonna know about shit.
Had been discussed.
Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
Right,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't know, man. He said, "Oh, nobody was texting war plans." Then he gonna walk away. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. Yes, yeah, something is suspect. Very, very. What? Somebody will make a fake. Not the realm of possibility, but I doubt somebody will make a fake chat and pretend everybody, all of the members of Trump's cabinet and other officials, and say, yeah, we're gonna bomb Yemen because we want their resources. I just doubt it. Like I don't believe that, but.
But so many questions are now being raised on a host of issues, not least the legality of National Security Advisor Mike Waltz using a chat app, not just to plan and disseminate details about an active U.S. military operation, but also then to arrange for them to disappear within days, despite being part of the official record. Shia Bertansi, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Okay, guys, so that's that. Now I'm gonna read some parts of the article. It says Yemen war plans. What did Trump aide leak to the Atlantic and Signal chat? But why would Trump aides leak to the Atlantic though? Like, just a lot of suspect shit. I'll make this a little bit bigger. It's a little bit small. There we go. The editor-in-chief of the Atlantic magazine revealed in an article on Monday that the Trump administration officials disclosed to him crucial military details about airstrikes on the Yemen's Houthi rebel targets on March 15th, hours before the United States carried the attack. Jeffrey Goldberg, a veteran journalist, said the U.S. officials had accidentally added him to a texting channel where they mapped out the strikes. Oh, it says the U.S. government has acknowledged that the message thread appears to be authentic, but you had Pete Hegseth saying that it's not real, but you have people from the government say, yeah, this is real. We yeah. What? see, like he say, she say. That's what it is at this. It is at this point. It says the world found out shortly after 2 p.m. Eastern Time on March 15th that the United States was bombing Houthi targets across Yemen. Goldberg right as he opened his Monday article for the Atlantic. However, I knew these 2 hours before the first bomb exploded that the attack might be coming. The reason I knew this is that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had texted me the war plan at 11:45 a.m. Here's what happened. On March 11th, Goldberg received a connection request for someone named Michael Waltz on Signal, an encrypted messaging service. So it's just like Telegram. Mike Waltz is the U.S. National Security Advisor. Goldberg wrote that he did not initially think this was the actual Waltz trying to connect with him. He thought it would be someone pretending to be Waltz who would attempt to get information out of Goldberg. But the editor added that he had met Waltz in the past. I didn't find it particularly strange that he might be reaching out to me. I did think it was somewhat unusual, considering the contentious relationship Trump administration has with journalists, Goldberg wrote. Goldberg accepted the request, still hoping this to be the real Waltz, he wrote. On March 13th, Goldberg was added to a messenger group on Signal called Houthi PC Small Group. Why would you name it that? Oh God. Goldberg presumed, based on his experience reporting that the U.S. government, that the PC here meant principal committee, a committee compromising top leaders of the cabinet generally associated with security issues. Or I would say just a bunch of warhawk neocons that just want to cause havoc. And you see why the United States is anti-peace. I'm gonna read this. It says, who was involved in the group chat? There were 18 members in the group chat in total, Goldberg wrote. Besides Waltz, the group included messages from someone identified as MAR, who Goldberg presumed was the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and an individual identified as J.D. Vance, Trump Vice President, someone called TG, which Goldberg presumed was U.S. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, an account with the name Scott B, presumably Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, or somebody spoofing his identity, wrote Goldberg. A user called Pete Hegseth, presumably the U.S. Defense Secretary. Someone called John Ratcliffe, presumably the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. Another user named Brian. Goldberg did not mention who he presumed this was. Brian Hughes is a National Security Council spokesperson, and Brian McCormick is Walt's chief of staff. It is unclear if the Brian on the group was either of them. Someone identified as SM, who Goldberg presumed was Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller. An individual identified as Joe Kent, which is the name of Trump nominee to run the National Counterterrorism Center. So why would you add people that are not government officials yet? Yeah, it's a lot of question marks on this though. I'm not gonna say it was actually these motherfuckers. Like, yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna get to the group chat. Oh God, it's a good bit to read. So And you know what's fucked up about these articles? Like they want you to pay. Like, so thank God for paywall remover, um because I ain't paying for shit. So shit, I pay enough, man. Like, damn, don't you gotta pay for everything, bro. Share my screen here. So this is the group chat on Signal. Yeah, it says Houthi PC small group, 19 members. Then it says Mike Waltz added you to the group. I think this is Goldberg. Um, Then it says Michael Waltz team establishing a principal group for coordination on Houthis, particularly for over the next 72 hours. My deputy Alex Wong is pulling together a Tiger team at deputy agency chief of staff level, following up from the meeting in the sit room this morning for action items, and will be sending out later this evening. Please provide the best staff POC from your team to provide for us to coordinate with over the next couple of days and over the weekend. Thanks. MAR. He said Mike Needham for state, Andy Baker for VP, Joe Kent for DNI, Dan Cash for Treasury, then Pete Hedsell, Dan Caldwell for Department of Defense, Brian McCormick. Uh, he says, team, you should have a statement of conclusion for taxing per the president's guidance this morning in your high side inboxes. State and DOD, we develop suggested notification lists of regional allies and partners. Joint staff is sending this morning a more specific sequence of events in the coming days, and we will work with DOD to ensure COS, OVP, and Trump are briefed. JD Vance said, "Team, I am out for the day going on an economic event in Michigan, but I think we are making a mistake." So I guess JD Vance being the anti-war guy here, right? 3% of U.S. trade runs through the Suez. 40% of European trade does. There is a real risk that the public doesn't understand this or why it's necessary. The stronger reason to do this is, as Trump said, to send a message, but I'm not sure the president is aware of how inconsistent this is with the message on Europe right now. There's a further risk that we see a moderate, severe spike in oil prices. Oh God, I am willing to support the consistency of the team to keep these concerns to myself, but there is a strong argument for delaying this a month, doing the messaging work on why this matters, seeing where the economy is, etc. He said there is nothing time sensitive driving the timeline. We'll have the exact same options in a month. The Israelis will likely take strikes and therefore ask us for more support to replenish whatever they use against the Houthis. So, another reason why too, not only resources, but United States is Israel's bitch, right? So this is why they doing. This is why they pull this on the Houthis, right? Yeah, yeah, because of Israel. That bitch. Um, it says I'll send you. Let me see. Pete Herseth says. He says, Vance, I understand your concerns and fully support you raising with Trump. Important considerations, most of which are tough to know how they play out. Economy, Ukraine, peace, Gaza, etc. I think I think messaging is going to be tough no matter what. No, I gotta get rid of this ad right here. It says he says let me continue. I have to refresh this again. Something wrong with it. Let me make this smaller. There we go. Let me see. Damn, man. I was reading everything and then it shitted on me. Let me see. Let me see. Damn, man. I had a good flow. I was reading it. Right here it says, P. Hedseth, if you think we should do, let's go. I just hate bailing out Europe again. And let's make sure our messaging is tight here. And if And if there's things we can do up front to minimize risk to Saudi oil facilities, we should do it. He said, VP, I fully share your loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic. But Mike is correct. We are the only ones on the planet on our side of the ledger who can do this. Nobody else even close. Question is timing. I feel like now is good time as any, giving Trump directive to reopen shipping lanes. I think we should go, but Trump will retain 24 hours of decision space. So yeah, man, they even I guess Van said, I don't know about that, man. Fucking with these people like they ain't messing with us. Pete Hegseth, his neocon war loving ass. He wanted to do it now. Let's do it now. You can't wait. So then this is when they gave an update. It said team update time now. 11:44 Eastern time. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are go for a mission launch. F-18 launch. Trigger based. They talking about. I will say a prayer for victory. What a fucking cook. Here you go. Wow, man, JD Vance, man. I tell you, man. Michael Walsh, VP, building collapse, had multiple positive ID. Pete, Karula, and I see amazing job. JD Vance said, what? Of course, right? Typical America patriotism. We fight! Yeah! The emojis, oh god. They basically they launched the strikes. Yeah. Kill innocent people and pray for America. Pray for a strong America, basically. These are all the people. Goldberg, Wall, Scott B, P. Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard in that too. So yeah, man.